if Lima tries to get his hands on Talbot, Talbot's getting up, and even if it were a close decision like that of a fight like Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan, I'm thinking Talbot's getting that decision. Lima loses his power when he goes from featherweight to lightweight. Bantamweight, and he's actually had to have catchweight fights.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm your boy DS, and I'm here with the one and only Dino Bam Bam, and I'm also here, as always, at this time of week, with our boy Harry from Approach Mode Bets. What up, fellas?
Yo.
What's going on, DS?
I'm chilling, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys. We're about to get into the betting side of things for UFC 317 Topuria versus Oliveira, which, of course, is this Saturday. You've already probably seen, if you're watching this, you've probably seen we've already done our full card breakdown. If you haven't, go check that out as well. Dino will probably link that, I'm assuming. But yeah, let's just jump right into it, fellas. Before we do, though, Dino, tell the people what you need to tell them. And of course, I just want to say one thing. This is, like I said, not the full card breakdown. We're here to strictly keep it about betting, fellas, okay? We're keeping it about the shkarol. We're here to put some money in the people's pocket. Okay, without further ado, Dino, please.
You look like $1 million, DS. But listen, guys, if you're new to the channel or if you're enjoying the content, do us a favor. Do like the thing at the bottom says, hit that like and subscribe button. All of us would appreciate that. And then you can also follow us on Instagram at D107MMA, and you can follow Harry at Pro Schmo Bets. Do that for us. We're doing a ticket giveaway, DS. Speaking of money, we're giving tickets out to UFC 319 in Chicago. Harry, you might be coming by. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I was going to say, if I don't see enough likes and shares, if I'm not feeling loved enough, honestly, maybe we just give it to Harry.
Maybe we give it to Harry. He's already putting so much goddamn money in our pockets. But anyways, guys, there's this thing that we do this time of month. And I'm not talking about those kind of cycles. I'm talking about the gun to the head parlay. Harry is 2-0 on our program with the gun to the head parlay, where what he does is he gives us a pick on this card that is guaranteed to hit. So he's hitting 100%. Last time it was, or 2 times ago, it was JDM. I don't even remember who the hell it was last time, Harry, but you're undefeated and you're putting money in our pockets, brother. I'm going to put you up on the big screen. Let's not waste time. Give us the gun to the head.
We only do this here at 10-7 MMA, which is crazy. And, ironically, it's always an underdog, man. It was Jack Della Maddalena. Then we had Mario Bautista. And this week, it was between, 2 fighters. Because on God, I believe that the entire main card will be underdogs through and through until Topuria.
Damn.
Now, listen. So I'll give you the dog that I believe. And this is privileged information on what I'm going to share now. It's pretty wild. So I love that, this information will reach your community. Ben Cartledge is the judge, the same judge who scored Kiniev 29-28, Kuniev against Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, right? Not only that, but the 49-46 Brandon Moreno versus Pantoja. Ben Cartledge, he's the one that gave it to him. Now, what do you find in a pattern here? He also gave the decision to Roundtree against Dustin Jacoby, and then O'Malley, Peter Yan. He gave O'Malley. He loves strikers. He hates that grappling shit. He does not like it. And guess who's the striker in that fight? Kai Kara-France, baby. Kai Kara-France. This is already being set up. All right, so hopefully we could get a finish here. I'd like to get into a breakdown of that. But I like Kai Kara-France here, and I also like Brandon Royval, man. Brandon Royval is just someone that I think you there's no way you can't put money on experience like that. I think the Joshua Van side is like thinking Bahamondes and matchmaking him into the lightweight division, whereas here we're talking flyweight division. But we have Albazi, we have Manel Cap, who still requires a fight, and we have a potential upset here on the weekend where Kai Kara-France could get, will require a title defense. He'll require a title defense, and I'd like Royval to go up. So, that's what we got here. Gun to the head, Kai Kara-France, Brandon Royval, and the goddamn main card all to go underdog through and through Talbot, all the boys until Topuria.
Damn.
Okay. All right, Harry. That's how you're feeling, man. Came out
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Gave
Came
us
out
2
super.
gun to the heads.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got basically several bets in that. So you got like 4 or 5 free bets in that bitch because he said all underdogs, right? You said all underdogs
Straight.
up, up until the main event. There you have it, man. There you have it. There is Harry's gun to the head parlay of the, or I'm sorry, bet of the week. But unless you have anything else to add, Harry, let's start from the bottom of the card and let's just move through it real quick. Again, purely from a betting perspective, we're going to give you what our official bets are for each and every fight, and we're going to try to blaze right through these. Let's get to it. First fight of the night is going to be, and this one was obviously a late replacement, both ways essentially. We've got both two newcomers. Christopher Ewart, he is taking on Jackson McVeigh. Harry, do you have an official bet on this fight?
Ewer, man, that guy could take a hit. He's pressure forward. He likes to work against the octagon wall, likes to finish his opponents. Believe it or not, as he's throwing his strikes, he's actually finishing them on the ground. And then you have McVeigh. McVeigh's got the body kick, the calf kick. He's got the teep kick, the push kick right to the liver. But he's also finishing opponents with guillotines and Darce chokes and shit like that. Guy loves the chokes. Now, that guy is developing very well. I think he's very young. He's about 25. I'm only going to give it to this prospect in, can you say that name again?
McVeigh.
McVeigh?
No, his opponent.
Ewart.
Yes. Only because I know he could take a shot, and he's just going to, get some body work done on McVeigh. That's how I see it going. I'd like to see McVeigh going through because of those kicks, man. He could control the range, but I just don't like the age, man. I think the age correlates with the fight IQ, and this guy can take a hit again. His jaw is built that way. All right. So that's the side that I favor here after watching tape.
All right, let's go. Dino, how about you? Do you have an official bet on this one?
As far as an official bet, man, not at all, DS, and I'll tell you why. I already did the prediction video. I already explained what I think about this fight. As far as betting's concerned, I don't like betting when it's two relatively unknown guys, right? I'm not comfortable putting my money on either one of these guys, especially, for the fact that we haven't seen them fighting high-level competition. So I was picking Jackson McVeigh to beat SD Dumas, but that was more because I was not confident in SD Dumas with all of his problems and getting locked up and, and all that stuff. So for me, this is a no bet. I'm interested to see where both of these guys do end up in the promotion, though. They both look like they do have some positive qualities.
Yep. Yeah, you pretty much said it, man. Both of you guys did. Two relative newcomers. We really haven't seen him on the ground at all. So that, for me, that's in the breakdown, kind of what I alluded to. That gives me a lot of pause. But after continuing to watch tape on him, man, I think he gets a first-round knockout here. I really do. I think we see Ewart get a big knockout in the first round. I'm not officially betting this. I mean, I might sprinkle on it because I'm going to be on some degenerate shit, but no official bet on this one for me either. I think this is the true test. Like, if you're betting on something like this, unless you somehow have been following the careers of these guys, I think you're nuts for betting this. Let's move on to the next fight, which is Jonathan Janiz. He is taking on Alvin Hines, who's making his UFC debut. Harry, do you have a bet on this one?
Hines is a bit undersized, man. I wish I could take him because he does dive, for a double leg. He's got a body lock trip. I mean, he loves to strike, throw overhands, but the knees, man, he's big. He could bully. He's not good off his back, but he's definitely standing up against a guy that he's about 3 inches taller than. So I have the knees on the money line.
I like it. Dino?
Yeah, I mean, my pick was also Jonathan Janiz. I have him by first round knockout. In terms of a bet, if you do want to bet that is something you can bet. But what I would be interested in this fight is the live betting aspect of it, right? I think if in the first round we do see Alvin Hines able to land himself a takedown, these odds will dwindle, right? He may win that first round and maybe flip to a pick'em or maybe just be a slight dog. I think at that point there's a lot of money to be made on it. I do think Janiz is the better striker. I think Hines is definitely the better grappler, more power, but Janice is more skillful. So I'm going Janata Janice. I won't be betting him, but if I do bet him, it'll be first round knockout. This is a huge live betting spot for me. And I'm hoping that we can get into that second round seeing positive things out of Alvin Hines, because I would throw there.
You're saying to live bet on Alvin Hines?
Yeah, if we get into that second round and maybe he landed a takedown, or if he looks quicker than we thought he would.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Harry, I agree with you. He is undersized. I think he's scrappy, man. I alluded to this in the breakdown video. I like how he is very much kind of an old school fighter. He reminds me of like the Keith Jardines of the world and some of these old school kind of guys, but he is a little bit undersized. Look, again, probably no official bet, or I'm debating maybe just like a 1 unit bet, like a very small bet on Hines, because I think these odds should be closer, man. I'm not a big Janata Janice guy. I think there is potentially some value on the dog here. For me, that's really what this comes down to. It's either dog or nothing on this one.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next fight, which is Nico Price. He's taking on Jacoby Smith. Harry, are you doing anything with this one? Obviously, these are the widest odds of the entire card.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jacoby Smith, man. This guy's got to get a finish like Wellmaker did, right? So these prospects are, coming into this game now, and we're done with the recycling of fighters and matchmaking. So Nico Price, he's got to go out the door. I'll take the round 1, round 2, round 3 finish, whatever's paying highest, and call it a day. Nico Price, he's got about 7 kids now. He's got a newborn. He's too busy. It's time to go out the door.
Yeah,
Respect,
look,
Dino.
For me, man, I already said this. Jacoby Smith, one of my favorite prospects in all of MMA. We met Nico Price out in Vegas. Great dude. I just think time is not on his side at this point. It seems like, Father Time catches up with all of us, right? And Jacoby Smith, an explosive guy. I picked him to win by second round knockout. When we look that up on DraftKings right now, it's plus 400. So if we go with what I was picking, plus 400, I'm definitely sprinkling on that. First round is minus 190. So think about that. I think Nico Price could be tough enough to survive a first round here. And if we get into that second round, I love that second and third round KO prop for Jacoby Smith at plus 400. And then I believe plus 700 for the third round. So give me that.
I don't think there's a chance that this gets to the third round, quite frankly. The second round, I do like plus 400, I think is nice. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Nico Price hasn't looked good in a long time, hasn't been active. The odds are just too wild here, right? Like, I don't think there's any way that Nico Price wins this. I saw somebody today bet like $50,000 to win like $9 for Cooper Flag going first overall in the NBA draft. This is kind of that situation for me. Like, if you want to sprinkle and put like 10 grand on Jacoby Smith to win and just win a couple bucks, like, I guess. But no official bet on this one for me.
Yeah, one more thing I will say. At this point, Jacoby Smith is officially the largest favorite in UFC history.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he took that record away from Wellmaker.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, fellas. Next fight on the docket, we've got Terrence McKinney. He is taking on Vyacheslav Borshev, Slava Claus. Harry, are you betting anything on this one officially?
Oh, man, the money line on McKinney. And you could take him round 1, round 2 as well. Borsch has been knocked down one too many times. His Achilles heel is a southpaw, so he's in for a long night. McKinney's also transitioned and actually customized his camp for personal training and coaching. So I think McKinney's entering the prime of his career.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's out in Florida right now with friend of the channel, Charles Johnson, also T-Rex, a friend of the channel. We should know that. Yeah, look, man, it is what it is. Every Terrence McKinney fight essentially plays out the same, right? There's a level of competition that he loses to, and when he loses, he gets finished. And then there's a level of competition that he beats, and when he beats them, it's a first round, if you're lucky, a second round finish, right? Slava has looked chinny to me. He's looked a little fragile. I'm rolling with Terrence McKinney. I'm going to take that first round finish, knockout or sub. I'll double what's the term? Double chance it basically with those two. And I think that's a pretty safe bet. I mean, it's as safe as a Terrence McKinney bet can be, right, DS?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually kind of changed my tune a little bit. I agree with you, Dino, but I think I see a vintage Terrence McKinney performance here. I think we do see him do his blitz thing and go fucking ham, and I think he gets it done here. I've kind of flipped on it. Before I was saying I think the smart thing for Terrence McKinney would be to use the wrestling. I just you kind of said like you don't see it happening. You're right. We rarely see it happening. I think Slavic Claus is just too hittable, and I think Terrence McKinney does find a big shot. My official bet is going to be Terrence McKinney. I'm probably going to bet it by first round knockout, quite frankly, because if we get to a second round, the chances diminish greatly, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Terrence McKinney by first round knockout.
Yeah, and one thing to add on to that, right? I mentioned live betting earlier, and I hate saying this about Terrence McKinney, but he has never showed us a single fucking ounce of cardio. So if this fight does get into the second round, even if Slava's been getting his ass beat, not a bad idea to sprinkle on the guy as a live dog.
100%. Slavic Claus is as tough as they come. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I mentioned that during the breakdown, too. Yeah, I think that's absolutely the move here. I think for most Terrence McKinney fights, that's the move. You kind of look for that, right?
Yep.
He blows his wad quickly. All right, let's move on, fellas. Next fight on the card is Viviane Araujo. She is taking on Tracy Cortez, everybody's fan favorite. Harry, are you making a bet on this one?
This girl, 31 years old. We won't see no surprises. Absolutely not. None of that we saw with Karine Silva. Uh, Listen, Tracy Cortez is 31 in the prime of her life, at fight ready, and everything she's drilling is top control. All right. And weight distribution. Intelligent girl. She could get it done on the feet, but I don't think she wants to get touched on the face. So Tracy Cortez is my favorite lock on the card if we're taking a money line and wanting to chalk shit.
Respect, Dino.
Fair. And I had Tracy Cortez winning this by decision. I don't think she finishes Viviane Araujo. Tracy Cortez on the feet, she doesn't have that kind of power to put anybody out. On the ground, she does have some good jiu-jitsu, but Viviane Araujo is a veteran of the sport. She is getting older. She's at 38 years old. I just don't see her being finished. So I do love the Tracy Cortez money line. I would also go ahead and probably go with Tracy Cortez by decision. I think if we do get to the end of the 15 minutes, and more than likely we will, the judges will be giving her the decision, right? She's going to be the younger girl. She's the more marketable girl. She's the bigger star. And as Harry mentioned, I think he mentioned it, or maybe I'm making shit up. She's the prettier looking of the two. I know that sounds shitty.
I'm okay to accept that, bro.
We're not judgmental here at D107 MMA, but the UFC needs something to fucking push, and they're going to push everybody's favorite, the good-looking Tracy Cortez.
Oops. Hold on. My phone is like not charging. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, look, guys, I have to disagree with you. I'm sorry. I just think that Viviane Araujo has been here too many times. Tracy Cortez, at times the output is too low, in my opinion. I think there's a distinct striking advantage for Araujo. I love you guys. I respect you. I love you. I have to go completely against the grain here. I think the safer, well, not necessarily fully against the grain. Let me say this. I think the safest bet here is Tracy Cortez by decision. For me, though, I think it's about the value, right? I think the line is just too off, in my opinion. I think that's where the value lies here. Plus 205, you're getting, double your money basically on a veteran like Viviane Araujo with a distinct striking advantage. Give me her, man. I'm taking her on the money line. I really like that. I do think there's value. Obviously, this is probably going to go to decision. Over 2.5 is minus 720. There's no value there. So yeah, man, my official bet on this one is going to be the underdog here. I just like the value too much.
And I'll say this, man, I'll add it in here. As far as women's MMA is concerned, I feel you, DS. I mean, getting a plus 205 on a veteran that's been there, done that, fought the top of the division makes a lot of sense. And I don't necessarily love betting women's MMA unless it's title fights where your boy's a fucking monster, the best in the business at picking women's title fights. But yeah, I just think that the marketability of Tracy Cortez is going to matter, right? When you get into these betting breakdowns, it's not just about player A and player B or team A and team B. A lot of people say betting's rigged and Vegas is involved in all that. Like Tracy Cortez,
politics.
Yeah, there's politics involved in it, and Tracy Cortez is definitely the person that the company wants to promote. I can't imagine that it's Viviane Araujo, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, but I get you.
Yeah, it's
I mean, Diaz is very smart, though. He watches tape and he knows that, yes, Tracy's got grappling to sustain her through the ranks at flyweight, but she's not polished as well as Viviane Araujo on the ground. So there is a threat there as well. So even though Araujo could be on her back or scrambled, to a half guard or something and then full mount, there are those inherent risks. But again, I'm going to stick with Tracy, knowing how to wrestle against that, counter wrestle, and then get that weight distribution where it has to be to get that decision.
Yeah, and I just want to say one more thing too. It's just that, like, I think we've seen Viviane Araújo against stronger grapplers, against stronger wrestlers than Tracy Cortez, and she's held her own, right? So I think that she's going to be able to do enough. I do think it's going to end up on the ground. I do think that Tracy Cortez at some point, and especially towards the end of the fight, I think she will have some ground control in this. I just think that it's going to be maybe too little too late at that point.
Hey, Harry, you know what it sounds like DS is saying to us right now?
What?
It sounds like he's saying Viviane Araújo, gun to the head. Gun to the head.
I don't know that I would say all that, and certainly on a women's fight, you'd be hard pressed to get me to say that. But I do like the value, man. That's all there is to it. We've already spent too much time on this fight, though, which is funny. It's the first women's fight, and we're here just going for 5 minutes on this one. Let's move on to the next fight, fellas, which is Hyder Emil. He is taking on Jose Delgado. Is this your boy? I feel like this is like a your boy, Harry. You fuck with Hyder Emil?
Hyder Emil, oh man, this guy, he's the one that went into this fight with William Gomez. He was injured. I don't know
he
what
lost that fight, but yeah.
Yeah, Gomez lost that fight.
Yeah, officially.
So, I thought it looked like Hyder Emil lost it, but he actually obviously on the cards won it. But yeah.
Wait, no, isn't Hyder Emil undefeated?
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah. And
what
he
we're
went
saying
into that
is
fight
we both feel like it was a robbery decision, Harry.
You know what though? I mean, if people are airing out dirty laundry and shit or rumors and shit, I mean, if it got around that, Hyder Emil was injured and the UFC did him a favor to get in there and he showed out like a dog, then that's the guy you want to bet on. And I like him here. I like him here to get the takedowns. Delgado got taken down 2-3 times during his Contender Series debut, his UFC debut. He's too big, man. I think if I'm not mistaken, man, he's about as tall as Mario Bautista, if not taller. When I was at the gym and he was adjacent to me, I'm like, yo, this guy's way too big.
Yeah. Look, man, I just wish these odds were flipped, and I assumed that they would be when I saw this fight announced. I thought Hyder Emil coming in there undefeated, kind of having some hype behind him with an entertaining fight style coming out there. He's KO heavy. I thought he would be the favorite. I picked Jose Delgado, so I wish he was an underdog here. For the fact that I'm not super confident in my pick of Jose Delgado, I'm going to abstain from betting on this. I'm not betting on it, but I do think this will be fight of the night, or it definitely can be. I still do think Jose Delgado wins. Again, like you were kind of saying, DS, I don't love the value because especially I'm not confident in it. So give me Jose Delgado, no bet.
Yeah, you pretty much said it all, man. Same situation as you. I really thought Jose Delgado is going to be the underdog here. With the odds being flipped, there's just no value here for me. I'm not a Hyder Emil believer. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I don't think he's going to win this fight. And if you're going to bet anything, it's probably dog here or pass. You got two explosive strikers. There's a lot of outcomes, I think, in my opinion here. No bet on this one for me.
Yeah, too volatile for me.
Moving on to the next fight, which is, and I'm very excited for this one, it is Jack Hermansson. He is taking on Gregory Rodriguez. Very curious to see what you have to say about this one, Harry.
Man, I think Gregory could get this finished on the feet only because he's holding that power and that speed in that octagon, man. That's counter to what Jack Hermansson is. You could be so technical, but slow, readable, predictable. There's so much fight tape on him. It's crazy. He did incredibly well with Joe Pyfer, but those are sequences and movements that I think Gregory could figure out. He's also very big, and Gregory is moved to Vegas now. He's got a home there. He bought a house, and I think that's going to play effect. The judges, they all talk. The politics is going to be politicizing. So I got Gregory Rodriguez on the money line. This guy is crossing a few time zones too, right? I don't think he did his training camp at the UFC PI, Hermansson. I think he's coming from overseas.
Yeah, I believe so. I wasn't able to find that out. I did see some stuff on Embedded where it looked like he wasn't here and he just landed in Vegas on Saturday. So six or 7 days. Not sure how great that is for him. I'll tell you this though, Harry. I'm a big believer in Jack Hermanson, man. I'm a huge fan. And one thing that really turns me off about Gregory Rodriguez is he's volatile, right? Kind of like we were talking about with Terrence McKinney. He's either going to finish you or he's going to end up being finished. That last fight, he looked phenomenal until he didn't against Jared Cannonier when his cardio failed him. Now, that was in the 4th round. This is a 3-round fight. But I'll tell you what, with Jack Hermanson, you never worry about cardio. With Jack Hermanson, you never worry about the grappling. And while Gregory Rodriguez is a very big guy, and he is Brazilian, and he does have some jiu-jitsu chops of his own, I think Jack Hermanson is a different level on the ground. If these odds were closer, I would not be betting it, but I'll tell you, quarter unit is going on Jack Hermanson for me. I love plus 180 here. And at worst, you lose a quarter unit. At best, you buy yourself and your girl a dinner or something like that. Jack Hermanson is the pick for me, money line.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Harry, I'm sorry, dude. I feel like I've disagreed with you on every pick today. It's certainly not on purpose. But yeah, man, I absolutely 100% agree with you, Dino. I really like Jack Hermanson here. Gregory Rodriguez is super dangerous. I just think that Jack Hermanson's style is like tailor-made. I think it's tailor-made for somebody where he's going to pick his shots. He's going to be fucking annoying is what he's going to be. He's going to bother the shit out of Gregory Rodriguez. He's, in my opinion, one of the most intelligent fighters in the entire promotion, in the entire UFC. And we just saw what he did against Joe Pyfer, who in my humble opinion, is almost like a better Gregory Rodriguez, in my opinion. One thing that I kind of always think about with Gregory Rodriguez is like, I don't know if you guys recall, but like earlier on in his career in the UFC, he had some pretty damn good grappling, and he used his wrestling a lot more. We've really seen him go away from that. Also, Jack Hermanson, yes, he's 37 years old, but man, I think the cardio is going to fail Gregory Rodriguez at some point, and I think we could see a finish here. Even I could see a sub, but I'm not willing to risk it that much. I'm going to take Jack Hermanson on the money line. I agree with you, Dino. I think this is my 3rd underdog pick here. I agree with you on that, Harry. I think there's a lot of good underdogs on this card.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing, man. Gregory Rodriguez, yes, you mentioned the grappling. He did used to have that, and that's why I mentioned it, right? He does have really good grappling to fall back on, really good and high-level jiu-jitsu. Again, I just think Jack Hermanson is a step above. On the breakdown, we talked about that later on in this card, towards the co-main and main event, about next-level grappling, and we'll get there. But I think Jack Hermanson is a step above Gregory Rodriguez. RoboCop can absolutely knock him out with all that being said, though.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Also, I would not be completely shocked if RoboCop got knocked out. I genuinely believe that his chin is not that good, man. And
It's
also,
not.
like, he's one of those guys where if you catch him clean, he starts getting really wobbly. The legs start going quickly. I don't think he's got a lot of legs under him. So he might be a little top heavy is what I'm trying to say, man. I'm not saying I'm betting that, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Brazil Obama.
my fellow Brazilians. All right, let's move on to the next fight, guys, which is Peyton Talbot. He was just fraud checked, and we've got he's fighting another big prospect who's kind of flying under the radar. Peyton Talbot, a sizable or decent underdog here. Harry, again, very, very curious to see what you have to say about this one.
You know what? I actually appreciate your take on Jack Hermanson, and I'm switching sides.
Wow.
And I'm fading all the Brazilians on this card. All the Brazilians. All of them. So although I do appreciate Lima and his grappling, and yeah, man, that guy can brawl it out. Good for him. Bantamweight has never really been his weight class, man. He struggles with that. He's a better featherweight than he is a bantamweight. So I think that Talbot has all that edge and speed, technique, footwork, mostly the movement. I think that if Lima tries to get his hands on Talbot, Talbot's getting up, you know, and even if it were a close decision like that of a fight like Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan, I'm thinking Talbot's getting that decision. Lima loses his power when he goes from featherweight to lightweight. Bantamweight, and he's actually had to have catchweight fights. I'd like to name the promotions, the fighters, so you can see examples of that. But all you got to do is hop on YouTube or Tapology and just reference those things. You know, we don't want to be here all day, but that's my opinion on Lima. I think Lima would make a better featherweight than he would bantamweight. Or if he is at bantamweight, I think Talbot is is man, too powerful, too fast, too slick. He could see it all from up top. He's what Sean O'Malley would look up to at that age.
Yep, respect. I get what you're saying. Dino?
Yeah. So I'll say this, man. I absolutely love both of these prospects. I think they are two really goddamn good prospects. I remember watching Peyton Talbot, and the first time I ever saw him was on the Contender Series. Went back and watched whatever film I could of him. And if you recall, DS, the first time Peyton Talbot fought in the UFC, we were at a bar in the West Loop with Captain Eric Albarracin. So it was really interesting to be sitting there with Captain Eric watching the debut of this next big thing in
Absolutely.
MMA. So we got to chop it up with him and kind of see what his opinions are. And Peyton Talbot's really good, man. I know he looked bad in that last fight. So, the fraud check thing is coming up. Was it a fraud check, or is Raoni Barcelos really that goddamn good? As far as Felipe Lima's concerned, I can't speak enough good things about this guy. I absolutely love him. I love his style. I think he is going to be a good prospect. As Harry was alluding to, maybe this is the wrong weight class for him. For me, as a diehard of this sport, as a fan that just loves mixed martial arts, I'm not betting this fight. I just want to see these two young prospects go out there, put it on the line, see who's better. And for the one that loses this fight, I want to see where they go forward, right? With Peyton Talbot, if Peyton Talbot loses this fight, it's not going to be a good look for him. I'd like to see him sit out a year maybe, or, he's young. He can do that. Sit out a year, work on the holes in your game, and move forward. So no official bet, just a really goddamn interesting fight for me.
Yeah, no official bet for me. Spoiler. I just want to say too, like, I am concerned with Peyton Talbot's lack of, or what I perceive at least as a lack of focus. You're young, you're fucking around with Frank Ocean and shit. You're on reality TV shows and whatnot. So no bet for me. And I picked Peyton Talbot to win this fight in the breakdown. I keep going back and forth because I really do like Lima as well. I'm a little concerned about, you're getting Peyton Talbot as a dog. If he wins this fight in dominating fashion, it may be a while before you get Peyton Talbot as a dog again, right?
Right.
It's just, I am concerned, man. I am concerned with a young guy like that doing all these other things and, getting a taste of like the celebrity life and, his head getting a little bit too big. Who am I to say, right? But I think that's at least something worth mentioning. So no official bet on this one for me either.
Badass fight, though. It's going to tell us a lot about these kids' futures.
It is. Also, I just want to say, like, I don't really love when they put like these two huge up and coming prospects against each other. I don't really love when they do that.
Yeah. Shitty matchmaking.
Yeah. I guess I get it, like winner take all type shit with the hype, but it's like, wouldn't you rather just keep both their hype going?
Well, the way you rationalize that, Diaz, if you have not noticed, that is how Shelby Maynard match makes these guys.
Yeah.
That, the way that you're approaching it, in that he does not like to they don't like to put together the buildup.
Yeah. You think two guys on the up and on the up and up.
On the up and coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me drop this bomb on you guys real quick. This has always kind of been my philosophy, especially since last September, right? So these 9-10 months or whatever it is, the UFC invested so goddamn heavily in Sean O'Malley. And anytime Peyton Talbot fights, Harry, you mentioned it, there is that comparison between him and Sean O'Malley. I don't know if it's because of the long, slender body type, just the raw ability, the fact that they're both kind of awkward and goofy looking, the tattoos, whatever it is, but they're always kind of linked for whatever reason. The UFC, Dana White particularly, had come out and he told the story about Sean O'Malley getting the title shot when he did against Aljo. And I believe it was Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby. One of the two came up to him and they pitched the fight. Let's do Sean O'Malley for the belt next. And Dana declined. He was like, nope, I don't want to do it. He's not ready yet. We got to work. We got to preserve this kid, basically. And they're like, Dana, he's not a kid. He's 29. It's fucking time to do it, right? So I think since then, we've really seen a shift in how they're matchmaking these young prospects. And it's more of at least show us something first, and then we can kind of baby you up the rankings before we fully invest in you. And I feel like maybe that's what they're doing here with Peyton Talbot. If you're not able to beat a guy who's supposed to be on your level, your age, and you're not better than him at this point, then the UFC is going to be all out on Peyton Talbot. That's kind of a hot take, but that's what I've been seeing with matchmaking for these up-and-coming guys that they think can be stars for the promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Want to know, I'll give you something too, man. I think the way the matchmakers also see it, if you notice, like between flags, like Americans, citizens, and Brazilian nationals, they would rather reset a Brazilian and pay them a purse you know, in an extended contract or another contract than an American who they would risk, you know, severing ties, moving on to a different promotion. So, I personally, business wise, I'm allocating all resources to ensure a Talbot win.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I get that, Harry. I just think that they feel kind of burned at this point. The UFC's been so desperate, and I know we're getting away from betting here, but really quickly, the UFC's been getting desperate lately for superstars, right? Obviously, with Conor McGregor being gone and them losing Alex Pereira was a huge knock to the promotion, man. That was really bad for business with Magomed
Stupid,
Ankalaev
bro.
winning.
Stupid, dude.
Really,
You could have had John Jones versus Alex Pereira. You feel me? Like
yeah.
Jones coming down to light heavyweight because Dominic Cruz is on a run too. Like, I don't know what the fuck. They couldn't pay off the judge, bro. They do it all the time. I'm kidding. You know, occasionally. But you know, like what the
Occasionally.
No, that fight, look, Magomed Ankalaev won that fight. They could have scored it for Alex if they really wanted to, and worse things have happened, right? Regardless of the
Oh, it
fact
would not
that
be in the top 5 of like worst robberies ever.
that's what I'm saying, right? So again, the UFC is struggling with stars, man. Right now, they just had O'Malley get his title shot again against Merab, got finished this time. The UFC does not love Alexandre Pantoja. They do not love Merab Dvalishvili. Volk at this point's on his last legs. It hurts me to say that as a diehard Volkanovski fan. Besides Ilya Topuria, where else is this company going? Islam says he has 2 or 3 fights left, right? Nothing big's really happening at 85. 205 looks like it's about to get boring with Magomed Ankalaev dominating the division for a while, and Tom Aspinall has absolutely nobody to fight at heavyweight. So realistically, man, if 55 doesn't go well for them, they're kind of fucked. So I think they do need a Peyton Talbot win here, but it's going to be years before Peyton Talbot is actually a credible high-level superstar, even if he does win 5-6 fights in a row.
Yep. Sounds like you might need. It might be time for you to finally lace him up, brother.
Come on now. Let's
We
go.
need a
I've been
star-
training.
We need a star like you in the UFC.
Hey, me and Big Boy Tom, let's go. Shit.
All right, let's move on to the next fight, fellas. We've got Brandon Royval. Well, actually, no. Hold on, Dino. I thought we have Beneil Dariush.
We can go that way, brother.
We got Beneil Dariush. No, I'm sorry. You know what? I see what happened. Tapology and DraftKings are different. Let's go back to what you had.
All right.
All right. We got Brandon Royval. He's taking on Joshua Van. Harry, we know how you feel about this one already. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I just think the experience, stylistically too. Brendan Royval's got this in the bag. Josh can
plus
shoot.
money too.
Yeah, Josh can. I mean, he can go to the body, but as you saw, he wasn't doing that with Bruno Silva here about 3 weeks ago. You know, for that reason, you know that you don't want to be in that pocket. You know, especially if with a grappler. So you know, I mean, Royval. I mean, fought Tatsuro Taira, brother. That man's gonna be champion. I mean, who's Joshua Van really? And the matchmaking makes better sense with Albazi, Royval in the mix, Manel Cap coming back from injury. And then hopefully a Kai Kara France upset, right?
Yeah.
Harry, look, man, I'll put it to you this way. If you got on this bet 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, whenever the fight was announced, you could get Brandon Royval at plus 200. I think that the odds makers are fucking insane. I think that the public is fucking insane. I love Josh Van. I have always loved Josh Van. There's not a fight that I've rooted against Josh Van except for when he fought Energy, Charles Johnson, friend of the channel. And that was the one fight he lost. Josh Van has looked nothing but great. The boxing is crisp, but my goodness, he is fighting Brandon fucking Royval. Brandon Royval is the top of the food chain in this division. It is Pantoja, it is Brandon Moreno, and Brandon Royval are that A and B for the number 1 spot. I know we have Kai Kara France fighting for the title, but Joshua Van, unfortunately, at the ripe age of 24, is not those guys yet. I think there's a lot of the Hamzat Chimaev factor going on here, right? The guy just fought and won. Now he's stepping up on the next pay-per-view. He's fighting 3 weeks later, and fans love it. He's exciting. I get it. He's young in a division that needs some young, flashy fighters all the time. It's just too much too soon. I'm throwing a lot of money on Brandon Royval.
Respect. Yeah, look, man, I've kind of flipped on this one. Okay. I know I was trying to convince myself that Josh Van is going to win. And I think at the time, though, I was getting plus money on Josh Van to some extent because for a bit there, he went as the underdog. But yeah, man, I agree with you guys. Brandon Royval, I love Josh Van. I was in on the Josh Van train or the Josh Van, if you want, I guess, the hype van. Early, and I love this guy. I think he will be at the top of this division for a long time, like you said. But yeah, man, Brandon Royval's the pick here. If you can still get plus money. Now, if the odds flip the other way, I don't like it, right? If it gets too far the other way, or if it gets as a pick 'em even, I still like it. But if it gets somehow too far the other way, then obviously maybe I won't feel that way. But yeah, man, you're right. I think Royval's too awkward. And dude, he's literally only lost to the two best fighters in this division, right? And one of them with Moreno, I think he was injured too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Royval's the pick on the money line. I think it could go either way. I don't think I would be confident enough to pick one way or another. But give me Brandon Royval.
Is Josh Van a better boxer than Brandon Moreno at this stage in his life? I don't think so, man.
I think he is.
So, we'll agree to disagree. I don't. I think Brandon Moreno is a better boxer, especially a couple years ago. So, regardless of the fact, I'm very confident in Brandon Royval. And then, by the way, just to throw this in there, top 5 nicest UFC fighters I've ever met in my life. Brandon Royval is an absolute sweetheart, but that kid's a fucking dog in the cage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Next fight on the card is Beneil Dariush, your countryman, Dino, and he's taking on Renato Moicano. Harry, are you still fading the Brazilians?
100%. 100%. There's no way Dariush did not train for this. Had he had another minute and was not finished against Charles Oliveira, we'd be having a whole different conversation, because Dariush would be coming into this maybe minus 200.
Say that again?
Dariush would be coming into this fight as a minus 200 favorite.
If what?
Against Renato Moicano, had he had another minute or so against Charles Oliveira and didn't get clipped.
Really? You think that?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was looking great. Oh, the Dariush is game. That guy is an Assyrian warrior, 100%, man. And his grappling is the best. I think Gamrot in 2019 had made that a highlight in an interview with the Schmo, where he mentions that Dariush's game in the grappling department, and they talk about if anyone submitted anybody, between them both, and it was just a smirk. You know what I'm saying? So, Renato Moicano, if I'm not mistaken, his base is Thai boxing, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Thai boxing black belt.
Yeah. And so yeah, I like Dariush here, man. I think if they start exchanging, it's inevitable that Dariush is going to hurt this guy. I mean, he already got paid, this guy Renato Moicano, coming in with that labrum tear against BSD. So what's he coming into this fight?
I think he's still nursing it. He's still nursing it to some degree.
Yeah, man. So it has to be Dariush.
Yep. Dino?
Yeah, man. I'm not flipping, right, DS? I said it back in January when this fight was originally supposed to happen. I said it on the quick picks. I'll say it again. Honestly, there is not a place in MMA that Renato Moicano is better than Beneil Dariush. It's just not true. They're the same exact age, so the old guy factor can, be thrown out the window. Beneil Dariush is the more powerful striker. Maybe Renato Moicano is a little more crisp down the pipe, but Beneil's got way more power. Beneil's got way more snap. He's the bigger, more physical guy of the two. And when it comes to the wrestling, Beneil is clearly the better wrestler. And then even in the jiu-jitsu, where Renato Moicano is very highly regarded, Beneil Dariush, a former world champion jiu-jitsu practitioner, he is a high-level black belt. And DS, I can't disagree with Harry, and I can't go against my Assyrian brother. Beneil Dariush by KO, overhand right. He's putting Renato Moicano out cold. And I'll tell you another thing. Renato Moicano at this point seems like he's kind of wrapped it up. I know he's doing the podcast and he's making money. A lot of the things he was saying about this fight, as of late, earlier on, it sounded like he was talking a lot of shit about Beneil. Now he's more so going along the lines of, he even said Beneil would win in one of those little clips. If you guys saw that on Instagram, I think Moicano's checked out. I think he made the money that he wanted to make in that Islam Makhachev fight. And Beneil Dariush, for what it's worth, only lost to the top two guys in this division, in Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. When he fought them, both guys, number one, number two contenders in the world. Charles is fighting for the belt on this goddamn card, and Arman should be fighting for the belt on this goddamn card. So Beneil Dariush, overhand right, he's putting Moicano's ass out cold.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm as confident as you are about the exact method, but I do like the dog here too, man. This is one that we're 3 for 3 on. We all agree on. I think Beneil Dariush is one of the more underrated fighters in the entire UFC. I think his power is very underrated. Yes, the chin has been tested at times, and the chin almost seems like it's inconsistent at times, right? Like sometimes he takes some shots, sometimes he like all of a like it's weird, right? Like so. And then the other thing I just want to mention is I don't love to hear when fighters, older fighters, obviously start talking about retirement and things like that. So I don't like that rhetoric. I don't like hearing it, right? And then it gives me a little bit of pause. I'm still confident enough. I think the power here is in favor of Beneil. I think the grappling is, if nothing, kind of the jiu-jitsu, let's say, is kind of even. And the wrestling, I think Beneil is a much better wrestler than Renato Moicano. And if somebody's going to get it to the ground, I think it'll be him, right?
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, I love Renato Moicano. I think he's been kind of out kicking his coverage a little bit. I think he's had some luck. I'm not saying he's just like a lucky fighter and he's not good. I think he's very good. I just think that like he's kind of gone further than he should have, if that makes sense. And good for him.
If you look at the losses on Renato Moicano's record, they're all against the top guys in the world. But let's not forget, last year at UFC 300, he should have lost to Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner made a fucking boneheaded decision.
That was so weird. Like
fight.
it was literally one more punch. Like that was so weird.
Yep, wanted the walk-off, wanted that 100K bonus.
Dino Diaz, shout out to the dead homies, to all those bettors from the 2019-2023 year group who are not betting MMA anymore because they got starched. And it gives us the opportunity now to be able to pick up on Beneil Dariush. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. If my bets go sour anywhere in the early or prelims, I'm slamming Dariush. We're talking 5 racks, maybe 10 racks. I'm gonna think about it hard because I do got Saudi Arabia to win at plus 1400, the Gold Cup soccer. Wow. So I'll think about it. But Dariush, my brother, wow.
My brother.
Dariush, my brother.
Hey, you're getting me fucking hype right now, Harry. You're making me want to throw a few stacks on Dariush. I might, if I got a few adult beverages in me, I might just have to do that.
Come on now.
All right, let's move on, fellas. We've got the co-main event, and we've kind of already touched on this a little bit, so we've already gone long. We always do. We start yapping. We're having a good time. Like and subscribe and all that, as it says down below. Follow Harry and Pro Schmo Bets. But we got the co-main event. Alexander Pantoja, he is taking on Kai Kara-France. I know you've already given us your thoughts on this, Harry. Is there anything else that you want to add?
It's just the pace, brother. I think Kai Kara-France got a good pace, his head movement. He defeated Askar Askarov, although it was a close decision. I also think it was a political move, too, by the UFC to give Askarov the boot because, you know, he does have a disability. And I just think that, you know, I mean, he's deaf, if you didn't know that. But Askarov defeated Pantoja. When Kai fought Pantoja, he didn't have all the tape he has on Pantoja now. You know what I'm saying? The way Moreno put out Kai, too, with that liver kick, that teep kick, whatever he did. I mean, this is Kai's opportunity. He has all the edge. He has all the tape. All right. He ain't going to be no center line. He's moving forward. He's pressuring. He will stuff takedowns. He will play against the octagon wall. He will play the clinch game with the cannibal and dirty box. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think Pantoja is going to hold up 4th and 5th round with that cardio. If he does, God bless him. But it's Kai Kara-France at that wide odds, 100%.
And Harry, those odds are closing, man. So right now, last night when I checked it, Kai Kara-France was about a plus 210, 215, something like that. He's at plus 195 now. So it looks like the betting public is kind of going your route. I'll say this, man. I am a massive Alexandre Pantoja fan. I think the world of this guy. I think he is criminally underrated. I think he is constantly disrespected in this sport. And maybe it is the 125-pound factor, right, where this division's not that interesting. Because since Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson I have not seen a champion this disrespected. He gets no love in terms of getting up to go for a double champ status. He gets no love in getting his custom shorts finally after his 1,000th fucking title defense. Alexander Pantoja, to me, is so goddamn good on the feet. And yes, Kai Kara-France has more power, Harry, but I think the grappling is another level. And what I was alluding to earlier, I think the jiu-jitsu of Alexander Pantoja is not just black belt level, it's next level black belt.
But
Belt.
only, my brother, but only on a back take. Whereas you have a black belt in Kai Kara-France. Kai can scramble, and I think they both know.
I'm pretty sure Kai's a blue belt.
Kai's a blue belt. We did our research on this yesterday, Harry.
Whoa. There's no way. He was grappling when he was like young. I've seen pictures, like, vintage shit.
Hey,
look, belts don't mean shit, right? At the end of the day,
I'm just saying, look,
MMA, they don't mean anything, but I'm pretty certain he's a blue belt.
So let me tell you guys this. The way, if you're picking Kai Kara-France, this is my thought process, Harry, and I heard why you said you think he's going to win. To me, I think there's two ways that Kai Kara-France wins this. And it's number one, you just expect him to catch Alexander Pantoja, and Kai Kara-France has really goddamn good power for this division. We've seen him put guys out cold like Steve Erceg, so he does have that one-shot nuclear option. If you don't think it's that, then I think you're picking against Alexander Pantoja because you think Father Time is catching up with him. 35 years old at flyweight. There's the 35-year-old Jinx. To me, Alexander Pantoja is the better of these two. I'm not going to be betting on it. It's very difficult for me to bet on fights where I do have a real, horse in the race. So I'm picking Pantoja to win. I'm not betting it. I'm going to be too nervous to bet it anyways. I root for Alexander Pantoja.
And it's not Father Time, Dino. It's just that I think that the way Pantoja's chaining his striking to those double leg attempts and so on and so forth for top control and potential submissions, right? Which I don't think he'll get on Kai at all, bro. I'll throw it to the public. I'll give you plus 150 odds. You send me a DM, I'll give you plus 150 odds if Pantoja submits Kai Kara-France. But yeah, it's just the fighting style. And that's what makes him different from Demetrius Johnson. And let's talk about Henry Cejudo, bro. Cejudo was not just great at wrestling. He was also good at striking, bro. Pantoja's good, as his shot sequence is he's shooting forward and all, and he's blitzing into, again, what he wants to do, grapple, wrestle you. But that style, man, and look, now we have Ben Cartledge also judging one of the scorecards. I really think Kai's gonna get this shit, man.
And you know what, Harry? Look, I don't doubt you, brother. You are undefeated on the gun to the head. This is your gun to the head. I'm disagreeing again. I was wrong last time. So who the fuck knows? We'll see. You're putting your money where your mouth is. So I'm excited to find out what happens on Saturday night. And yeah, we'll see. DS.
Pantoja. I'm going Pantoja, man. I think he's the most underrated champion, maybe of the decade. I think he's unbelievable. Unless he's fallen off a cliff, I just don't see. I mean, yeah, he's 35 at these lighter divisions. The speed and the skill is quicker to go, right? Like it's a young man's game in these lighter divisions. Look, Kai Kara-France is 1-2 in his last 3. I think he's going to be at his most dangerous in the first round. I just don't see him knocking out Pantoja. I got to go Pantoja, man. And my official bet is just Pantoja money line, and I think it's a good parlay piece. But because I'm teetering between submission, I don't think he's going to submit him. I think he's going to win by decision, to be honest with you. But yeah.
All right, so we got 3 different opinions on this one. Let's find out on Saturday, boys.
I'm kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie that I keep disagreeing with Harry because I feel like I trust him more than I trust myself. All right, let's move on to the main event of the evening, which is Ilia Topuria. Massive, well, relatively massive, not compared to the last massive underdog or favorite we saw here. But Ilia Topuria, massive favorite over Charles Oliveira, minus 445. Harry, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, this guy's a brilliant boxer. Any shot sequence he can adopt from Max Holloway to get some work done. That cross step that Sean O'Malley's got with the right hand. I mean, he could adopt any body style. The guy's brilliant, and he's just going to work Charles, man, hopefully to a finish. That would be great. Could Charles pose trouble? Yes, because of his height and reach. That's it. I think that he's going to have to go to the body often. He's going to have to be careful with, the clinch on Charles. And yeah, the calf kicks are not going to have any effect on Charles Oliveira from Topuria's side. So he's going to have to figure something out with maybe potentially wrestling, winning a round or two. I know folks think that, he'll get him out in round 1 or 2, provided that he's already faced someone 5'11" in Max Holloway. But Max Holloway doesn't grapple. So there's, I think Topuria would like to keep his prediction thing going, his Mystic Mac aura, right, from adopting McGregor's predictions for a fight and getting it done there. But I think, he predicted something with Chad Mendes, didn't he, McGregor? And he didn't win that way, right, in that fashion. He didn't knock him out. It happens. And I think that may happen here potentially. So you could see two, co-main main event go to full decisions, because you're going up against one of the greatest ever in Pantoja and one of the greatest better fighters and sizable fighters in Charles Oliveira.
All right, and I'll tell you this, Harry, Diaz's phone died on us, man, so he's done for the card. He's taking Ilia Topuria as well. If you guys want to see Diaz break it down, click the link below, and you'll get all of our X's and O's on this. I agree with you, Harry. I mean, look, I'm going Ilia Topuria. I think it's a no-brainer, and I am a massive Charles Oliveira fan. I dyed the beard blonde last year for 300. I had a conversation with Charles Oliveira at International Fight Week 2 years ago. Got to spend some time with the Shoot the Box guys and Charles Oliveira's uncle. It was a really amazing moment. Those are really good people out there, man, and they are a brotherhood, that's for sure, and they believe in this guy, and that's for sure as well. To me, it's heartbreaking, Harry, because not only did Ilia Topuria do it to Volk, he did it to Max Holloway, and he's saying he's going to do it to Charles Oliveira, who, if you look on Tapology, the #1 most fan favorite fighter of all time. He was voted as that, and it looks like Diaz is back. So,
whoops.
I think Ilia Topuria wins this fight. I think he puts Charles Oliveira out cold, and I will add one more thing, guys. I think this Ilia Topuria storyline is the biggest thing in the entirety of MMA that we have going on right now. It's not the John Jones situation. It's not the Tom Aspinall becoming a champion. It is Ilia Topuria. This kid looks damn near unstoppable. He won at 45, knocked out 2 legends, and then he's going up to 55. If he does what he's saying he's going to do, he's going to knock out another legend. And Harry, the balls of fucking steel on this kid to not only say he's winning the second belt, that he is going up to 170, because Islam Makhachev is not fucking running away from me. You get what I'm saying? He's not running away from me.
Wild.
That's the kind of confidence.
I mean, he's fortunate, though. You might be onto something, because Bilal, JDM, and you could say Islam are relatively the same height,
Yeah.
They're on the shorter end.
Yeah. So I do think he wins this fight. And then also, just wanted to throw this in there. I said it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking because I'm watching Charles Oliveira in his pre-fight, in his media day, and he's sitting there and he's saying, don't doubt me. You guys keep doubting me. And this is just another guy. I'm going to walk him down, and he's going to fold in front of me. He's going to fold in front of me. Don't doubt me. And I was like, man, it felt like he was talking to my fucking soul. So yeah, Ilia Topuria, I think this guy's a legend in the fucking making. He's winning this fight.
Yeah, Ilia by knockout, man. I love Charles. I just don't see a way that he wins this fight, unfortunately. Look, Ilia Topuria is a superstar, right? He's an absolute superstar. What else is there to say? I love Charles, but we've seen him get chinned. I think this one's pretty obvious, man. I think there's a reason the odds are as wide as they are, despite Charles being a champion, right? So being as good as he is. There's not
as
much
far as betting, DS, you're betting knockout?
I'm betting knockout. I'm betting Ilia Topuria by knockout. I don't think we see a decision. I don't think that we see a submission. I don't think Ilia is going to want to take it to a submission. I think he's going to want to continue an impressive streak of knockouts, and I think he gets it first or second round. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a fairly early knockout, and we're all going to be pretty sad.
I agree. So we all agree there. Let me ask you guys one more question before we do this sign-off thing. Final bets. Harry, give me your best underdog pick of the night.
Kai Kara France.
Gun
to the head. Kai Kara France.
DS, favorite dog of the night.
Man, Jack Hermanson.
Wow, I love that. I'm going to go with Brandon Royval. That's the one I'm most confident in. So those are the 3 dogs. Hey, we should do that. Our favorite dogs of the night. We'll do a 3-way parlay.
I like it.
See what the fuck that equals out to. So anyways, guys, that was UFC 317, the betting video. That up there is DS. That right there is Harry from Pro Schmo Bets. Go show him some love. Like and subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Instagram at Pro Schmo Bets. Follow us on Instagram at D107MMA. One more shameless plug here. We are doing a ticket giveaway. Once again, guys, for UFC 319 in Chicago. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. We bought out as many fucking tickets as they would let us, which was 8. I wish we could have bought more, but they didn't allow us to. So we got 8 tickets. 5 of them motherfuckers are used. There's 2 or 3 that are still, we don't know who's coming, so we're giving them away. We're at least giving 1 or 2 of them away to fans. We will be dropping the official giveaway information next week during the off week, so subscribe here, like here, follow on Instagram. That's where you're going to see all that shit, and if you want to come out to that card, you want to come have a drink with your boys, do all that stuff. Harry, what do we got to do to get you to fly out to Chicago?
Real quick. I'm sorry, just real quick. The 3-pick underdog parlay, right? Jack Hermanson, Kai Car Friends, Brandon Royval is plus 1552.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I love that. I know I'm slamming that. I was saying, Harry, what do we got to do to get you out to Chicago for this card, brother?
Man, would I be sitting next to you guys? What do you got booked?
Yeah, we got a nice little 200 section. It's the smallest section at the UC. You know, it's pretty private. There's about 10 rows. It's not bad. You know, it's not. We're not sitting cage side, but it's not bad.
Send me a screenshot of the seats, man. And
it's not nosebleeds.
Yeah, Chicago is tough, man. It's quite a ways from New York, you know. So it's we'll see if I can make that happen for sure.
We'll talk about it. There it is. So again, guys, that's DS. That right there is Harry. My name's Dino Bam Bam. This was D107 MMA featuring Pro Schmo Bets. If you guys enjoyed, do all the like and subscribe shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.